Steve Littleman, who will get you going today. That's what it's all about, indeed. Good afternoon and welcome to Keeneland at Home once more. I am your host, Christina Blacker, and thanks to our friends at Central Bank for continuing to bring this show to you each and every day of this unprecedented Keeneland summer meet. We have 10 races coming up today, and in that program, 6 stakes races. I want to tell you, this is not only the centerpiece of this particular meet, this is probably one of the best days of racing you are going to see all summer. So I hope that you will be tuned in all afternoon to watch the racing from Keeneland. And we will, of course, set you up for the day here with Keeneland at Home, give you some analysis. We'll talk to Ellis Starr in a little bit as well. I encourage you to use the hashtag, as always, hashtag Keeneland at Home. Share it on all of your social media network channels. Let your friends and family know that they are going to want to tune in today and to make a little bit of money this afternoon. Also, a reminder that you can download that digital program. If you haven't navigated to the racing tab on the Keeneland website, today's the day to do it. Make sure you have these program pages in front of you so you can handicap along with us, do your own handicapping, and make your selections from there. It's also not too late to pick up a Keeneland kit to continue to enjoy the racing and to throw your own watch party from home. So that's what's coming up today. We're going to learn from the folks at Maker's Mark about another signature cocktail. Ellis Starr will join me once more. He gave you a $24 winner yesterday, and he loves days like this. He lives for days like this with these stakes races, so I know you're going to appreciate his analysis. We'll dive a little deeper as far as betology goes. We're teaching you each and every day. We're going to go a little further today and have a bit more sophisticated lesson from the betologist and a nice interview. Scott Hazelton had a chance to catch up with world-class jockey Javier Castellano. So time to call this show to the post with our call to the post. And we have been reaching out to some local musicians to help us out with this. Today, the reckless youth of psychedelic rock joins us. This is Lexington's own Johnny Conqueroo. Take a look. Johnny, thank you so much. You can head to johnnyconqueroo.com if you'd like to hear a little bit more. All right, time to pour yourself a drink. It's Saturday. It's middle of the afternoon. We've all been staying home a lot. I said it's time to pour yourself a drink. And so we are going to learn from the folks at Maker's Mark once more today. Amanda joins us, and she teaches you all how to make a gold rush.
Hey Keeneland friends, my name's Amanda and I'm joining you from Maker's Mark. Today we're going to talk through a super refreshing cocktail that's easy for you guys to make at home. In this we're going to put fresh lemon, honey, and then 2 parts of Maker's Mark. So this is a twist on a whiskey sour. It's called a Gold Rush, which is a modern whiskey sour. So we're going to start with the 2 parts of Maker's Classic. And then to that, we're going to add 1 part of freshly squeezed lemon juice going in. So I'm going to hand squeeze as fresh as possible just here. And then lastly, we're going to add 1/2 part of honey. So if you just make some honey water, 3 parts honey to 1 part water and just dissolve it down. This honey is from our next door neighbor at Maker's Mark. It's got beautiful floral notes that are coming through in it. So to the mixer, we're going to add 1/2 part of the honey water. We're going to add cubed ice to your shaker. And we're going to shake it to wake it, not rock it to sleep. So we're going to shake for about 10 seconds or so. You're going to take a lovely rocks glass. Here I've got a Maker's hand dipped. We're going to add cubed ice to the rocks glass. And then going to single strain over the top of that. And then we're just going to add a lovely lemon garnish to it. And then you have your Gold Rush. Cheers.
Cheers, Amanda. And I love that line, shake it to wake it, and probably some ingredients that you already have at home as well. So a nice refreshing cocktail today, the Gold Rush. And I hope that the folks from Maker's Mark enjoyed watching War of Will yesterday. What a horse he is, a Preakness winner, and now a Grade 1 winner on the turf as well. Speaking of Grade 1s, we have 3 Grade 1s today at Keeneland. So let's jump right into the racing. Ellis Starr joins me once more. Ellis, my first question is, be honest, how many hours did you spend handicapping these races today?
Well, Christina, it was a lot of hours for sure, as you can imagine, but every hour was a joy because Keeneland's put together this fantastic race card for Toyota Bluegrass Day. I'm so looking forward to the great racing today.
Well, that's why we love you, because we know you love this game and you do put the work in, and it shows in the results. So let's get to it. We're going to start with the first of the 6 stakes races, and that's race number 4. It's the Appalachian, and it's a very, very nice field lining up in here. Mariafoot debuts in the U.S., and there's been a little bit of a buzz about her, Ellis. We also have Evil Lyn in here. Tell me about who kind of catches your eye in this field.
Well, I think the contenders are Mariafoot, Evil Lyn, and the favorite Alms. Alms did run badly last time out, but she had run well, won her first 4 races before that. But I want to talk about Mariafoot quickly. She won a stakes race in February when she was last seen. She imported to the U.S. That was very interesting because you can tell sometimes those races are run counterclockwise like you run in the U.S. And she won that race on an all-weather track, which means she can run well on turf. She gets first-time Lasix, and she's also by a sire who we don't see much of, but he is the sire of one horse that's run in the U.S. and made a lot of money named Sandiva. And Evil Lyn's another one. She's won last time out. She was claimed by Mike Maker, who's exceptionally good at claiming horses for stakes. He's 21% off the claim in turf routes. So he knows his horses when they run well, and she's a perfect 3 for 3 on the grass.
A couple of very intriguing horses there in the Appalachian. You're absolutely right about Mike Maker and moving those claimers up to stakes performers. The next race, the 5th race on the program, is the Grade 1 Madison. Another kind of tricky 7 furlong distance in here, Ellis. And we've got a monster in Guarana for Chad Brown. Can anyone beat her today?
Well, Christina, a lot of fans that follow me, and you know I'm more of a contrarian, like to take a stand, but sometimes you just can't do that. Guarana is legitimate. She won the Acorn last year. She's running second off a layoff, off a win. She should be very tough. The other horses that have a chance in the race, Me and Mischief and Bell's the one who just ran 3rd and 1st, respectively, in the Winning Colors Stakes at Churchill Downs, and they both have a little shot, but Guarana is going to take some beating here in the Madison.
What do you think as far as the pace, Ellis? I'll throw you a bit of a curveball with Guarana, Mia Mischief. I mean, who's the quickest early? Who makes the early lead? And does anybody try to go gate to wire?
The early leader is going to be the horse on the outside, I think, Christina. Her name is Amy's Challenge. She likes to have the lead a lot. She's a little cut below these. She did get beat a neck, though, in last year's Madison, so she's going to be maybe hanging around a bit. But I think Bell's the one comes from further back. Mia Mischief and Guarana are going to be stalking Amy's Challenge in the early parts of the race.
Let's move ahead to race number 3, Grade 2 at Shakertown, $150,000 on the line, 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. This can be such a specialist distance and a real horse for course type of race. Ellis, I know you have quite a few horses in here that you're intrigued by, and look at this big full field. Take us through kind of your top 4 selections, 4 or 5 horses that you really like.
Well, I'll start again quickly with this. We have so much great racing today at Keeneland. Bound for Nowhere shows up every time. He won this race in 2018 and just lost by a neck last year. He's a specialist. He's got 6 wins and 2 seconds in 9 races in the U.S. He shows up. He's got good speed. He can win for on the lead or off the pace. Fast Boat, number 7, is an intriguing horse here who ran his best race. He just found his best stride. He already had won 6 for 17, but he's very intriguing here at 8-1. He would not be a surprise one bit, Christina, in this race. Moving on to number 2, Wildman Jack, another horse coming off a peak career best effort, lightly raced horse, 4-4-8 in his career. He is undefeated, 4 wins and 2 defeats by a nose from 7 races at 5 to 6 furlongs on the grass. Certainly a strong contender. Mike Smith in to ride. Totally Boss to 10. One more here to talk about. Again, we've got 14 running. Totally Boss is very interesting to me. He won or placed in 5 races in a row last spring and summer, and then he had bad traffic trouble and excuses in his 2019 finale and 2020 comeback. He might be disregarded here He opens at 8-1. And last but not least, there is a horse that I think everybody needs to look at. We've been learning from the betologists about betting across the board, win, place, and show. This is a horse to do that. His name is Just Might, the 5. He opens at 50-1. He posted the upset in a similar race called the Colonel Power in February. It was a legitimate win. He's got 3 wins, 5 seconds, 4 thirds. He's in 16 races, always been there. He ran second last time out to a horse called Well Abled. For those that get the free digital program, you will see Well Abled in the company portion of many horses in this race. Well Abled finished third in a race on May 20th and finished third and came back to win. Just Might is a horse that might hit the board at a big price.
Are you using all these horses together, Ellis, in a trifecta or exacta? How are you utilizing this information for the Shakertown?
I think it's a great race to open the wallet a little bit and do a 5-horse exacta box. It's 2, 5, 7, 8, and 10 in a 14-horse field. It's a $20 bet. You win if any 2 of the 5 come in. 3 of them are big price horses here. I think it's worth the investment. Gives you a lot of rooting action in this race.
The Grade 1 Central Bank Ashland will be the next race on the program. 1.16 miles is the distance, $400,000 on the line, and also some of those crucial points on the road to the Kentucky Oaks. And as we told you on yesterday's program, Swiss Skydiver elects to run against the boys later. We'll get to her, but Kenny McPeak still comes into this race pretty loaded, Ellis. He has the 4 Envoutante, who comes off a victory last out at Churchill Downs. She's proven at the distance, and she looks like she's lighting it up in the morning.
Yeah, this is interesting that McPeak separated them. I think they've been working together. When fans look at the program and see those dates and those distances, and they look at Swiss Skydiver, you'll see the last 2 are identical, and it looks like Envoutante even outworked her stablemate. She worked second best of 97 half-mile works on the day. She comes into the race in peak form, off a win with superb 96 and 99 Equibase speed figures. I think she's really the one to beat, but the one to catch is the favorite Venetian Harbor, number 2. She likes to have the lead. It's a short field, so she's going to be tough to catch on the lead, and she just ran second to Swiss Skydiver. I think the race boils down to those 2.
Such a good race. Looking forward to that later on today. Again, race number 7 is the Grade 1 Central Bank Ashland. So the 8th on the program is the Grade 1 Coolmore Jenny Wiley. $350,000 on the line, 1.16 miles on the turf course here. And Ellis, let's start with the 2, Juliet Foxtrot. She was defeated in the First Lady 3 starts back. That was over this course, but defeated by an eventual Breeders' Cup winner. To me, that still feels like a win for her.
Absolutely. And then she ran third to a horse called Uni after making the lead at the top of the stretch. And Get Stormy, and Get Stormy has beaten the boys. She's a tremendous horse. Juliet Foxtrot came back. This is where we talk about a horse as an athlete. She was a little bit short off that layoff from December 1st to May 30th. She made the lead and ended up 6th in the mid julep. She was favored that day. I think she can move up a lot here, second off the layoff. And run very well. This was a key race. We talked about that the last couple of days. Key races are those that prove productive, in that 3 horses came back out of that race to win subsequent races. So that makes Juliet Foxtrot a horse that should move up quite a bit.
You might get a decent price on her as well. Jolie Olimpica is the 6th, and she invades from California the Hall of Famer Mike Smith in town to ride her, daughter of Drosselmeyer. But surprisingly, she is a real sprint specialist, and she's near perfect on paper, Ellis.
Yes, she did. She won 3 races in her native Brazil, Christina, and she's won 2 and second one in a race in the U.S. She won last time out and beat a horse named Alexandra, who came back to win the Jaipur Stakes, which is a Grade 1 race. So Jolie Olimpica is all class. I think stretching out to a mile should make her the front runner here, and she could be tough to catch.
And last but certainly not least is the 65 shot Rushing Fall, the defending champion in this race. Could she go home with it again, Ellis?
There's no question she can. She's 9 for 12 in her career, including 2 seconds. She's 4 for 5 at Keeneland. She's a defending champion. As you mentioned, she shows up every time. She likes to lead, but Jolie Olimpica may be faster stretching out, but she did come off the pace to win a couple times in her career. So she's the one that rounds out it. She's the lowest price of the contenders, but certainly Rushing Fall is a fun horse to watch.
She is, and she seeks to join some pretty elite company. If she could win today, she'd be a grade 1 winner at ages 2, 3, 4, and 5. She would join the Mighty Beholder and others in that category. Okay, one more race to go, and certainly last but not least is the grade 2 Toyota Bluegrass, $600,000 on the line for 3-year-olds and those all-important points on the road to the Kentucky Derby. Remember, the rescheduled Kentucky Derby for the first Saturday in September this year. We're going to go 1.125 miles on the main track. Ellis, I know you've hunted around for a little bit of a price. Let's start with Art Collector at 5-1. This is a colt by Bernardini who seems like he's really coming into himself now that they gave him the opportunity to go 2 turns.
Yeah, this is an example, Christina, of that's so much different with the COVID delayed Derby. Our collector would never have made the Derby the first week in May, but he's had a chance to mature. His last 2 races are fantastic. His running lines say ridden out and handily. He's improving his Equibase speed figures to 106. Keep that in mind when we talk about the favorites with Skydiver in a second. And trainer Tom Drury is excellent at keeping his horses in form. He's 20 for 66 with back-to-back winners in dirt routes. Our collector is definitely the now horse in this race.
Ellis, let's talk about the filly Swiss Skydiver. I mean, she's far and away, as far as the points go, on top of the division for the Kentucky Oaks. But this is different. Here she is taking on the boys and seeking to become the first filly to ever win the Toyota Bluegrass.
It's true. Swiss Skydiver is certainly the leader in the filly division. She's got more points than the male leader, Tis the Law. But she needs points in the male division if she wants to run the Derby, and she might be that right kind of horse. It hasn't happened much since he switched to points. She won her last 3 races easily. Remember, we pointed out our collector had a 106 Equibase speed figure, which is a numeric measurement of time, just makes it easier to compare horses. Her last race was a 108. She's improving. She can lead, and she can come from off the pace. She's in top form, and she's going to be really tough here. I really think the race boils down to those 2 as win contenders, but there will be one more horse we're going to talk about here that has a long shot chance.
Yeah, I know you're always looking for a price. Swiss Skydiver, she is just a throwback. The Rachel Alexander, she was 3rd there. She won the Gulfstream Oaks, the Fantasy, the Santa Anita Oaks. She's traveling. She's taking on the boys. She's doing it all. So looking forward to what she can do today as she does take on those boys. How about Tiesto to the outside? I know this is the price that you like. Fabian Pratt is in town. I actually saw him leaving Del Mar to head straight to the airport last night. He rides for Bill Mott. And there's a pedigree note in here that could be very intriguing for someone who's looking for a price in the Bluegrass.
Well, Tiesto is moving from turf to dirt, and for those that want more detailed analysis, you can get it on my Equibase Race of the Week of why this horse has a lot of things going for him. Bill Mott, a Hall of Fame trainer, does not take chances. He knows when his horses are good enough to go to this level in the 3-year-old division, and this is a horse that can do it. Stakes placed on the grass already, second off a layoff, which means he should improve. He ran 3rd in the allowance race. He was stake placed on the turf, as I said. He is a half-brother sharing the same mother to Promises Fulfilled, who basically is known as a sprinter, but did win the 2018 Fountain of Youth, so the horse can get distance on dirt. Sire Tisnow sired the winner of the Toyota Bluegrass, a wrap, a couple years ago, and Mott has had tremendous success. Most recently, Country House, the eventual Derby winner, was second off a layoff in the Risen Star last year, and Modernist won this year's Risen Star for Mott. I think this horse has a big chance.
So how do you play this race, Ellis? How do you use that information to make some money in the Toyota Bluegrass?
Well, I'm going to start with using an exacta of Art Collector and Swiss Skydiver over everybody. Got a long shot. Everybody's got a shot here. I will make a win place and show bet on Tiesto for sure, and I might make a win bet on Art Collector if we get a price about 3-1 or more, Christina.
Ellis, as always, thank you so much for putting in the time, the work, and giving us all of this wonderful information. Go make yourself a gold rush and enjoy the day today, because I know it feels like Christmas as you're at home watching all this great racing.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Hard to tear yourself away from all the great action at Keeneland today. Good luck to everybody.
Ellis Starr, he will be with us once more tomorrow. It's hard to believe that just today and tomorrow as we round out this summer meet at Keeneland. And again, thanks to our generous race sponsors, the Toyota Bluegrass, the Central Bank Ashland, and the Coolmore Jenny Wiley. We are really looking forward to that today. Okay, so as I mentioned to begin the show, we've obviously dive a little deeper with the handicapping, both with Ellis and all of those stakes races, but also with betology, as you all are learning out there at home. So Rachel joins us once more today, and she is going to tell you how to read the program.
The race day program is the most important tool for any bettor. In this little booklet, you can find just about everything you need to know about each horse and their history in each race for that day. Think of it as the stats on the back of someone's baseball card. In this episode, we'll be diving into the race day program, teaching you what to look for and how to find advantages to bet on. If you're new to this series or you're beginning better, check out our previous videos to learn more about the basics of betting. Okay, so the first thing you'll do is open the program to the race you want to bet on. At the top of the page, you'll see a diagram which shows the distance of the race and which track it's being run on. This will be important information to keep in mind. There's a lot of information about each horse, but to simplify things, let's break it down into 3 chunks. Start with the upper left-hand corner. These are the details about the horse. You'll see the horse's name and number. The number is the same as the horses will wear on their saddle cloth and is there to make placing bets quicker and easier for you. Next, you'll see the morning line odds. Those are the odds estimated by an odds maker the morning of the race, which essentially show the likelihood that the horse will win. They look kind of like fractions or ratios and can be thought of in a similar way. For example, 2 to 1 is a 50% chance to win. Now, it's important to remember that actual odds are determined by how the public is betting and will change constantly until the race goes off. So, be sure to check the tote board if you're at the track or the updated odds if you're betting online. Also in this section, you can find the owner, the trainer, and the jockey, as well as their win percentages for that race meet. So to the left of the jockey, you'll find the total weight carried by the horse. In some races, called handicaps, the better horses will be required to carry more weight than others to make for a more level playing field. Another important figure to look for is the Equibase class rating. The higher number, the better the horse. You'll also find information on the horse's pedigree and whether it was sold at Keeneland, which is an indication of quality. The next section you'll want to study is in the upper right. This is the horse's race record, broken down in many different views. So each line has a set of 4 numbers. The first number is how many times that horse has raced within that specific criteria. The second number is how many times that horse has won. Next is how many times the horse has come in second within those conditions, followed by how many times it's come in third. You'll see a total lifetime record plus records for this year and last year. Remember when we told you to pay attention to the distance and surface for the race? You can compare the race type against the horse's record on that surface and distance to get an indication of whether this particular race suits their style. Some horses are bred and trained to run on turf or dirt. Some are bred to run long distances. Some are better at short lengths. These are all very important factors that can reveal a winning pattern and therefore a smart bet. Finally, at the bottom, you'll see past performances. Each line details the horse's most recent races. The most recent race is always listed on top, which you can see with the date in the first column. As you go across each row, there are a number of stats that could be useful to you. Here are a few of the high points. Track abbreviation. This will show you where the horse ran each of its recent races. Look for the abbreviation KEE to see how they ran recently at Keeneland. Distance shows you the length of that race. Race type. This shows you the type of race that they ran in. You can compare this against the type of race they're running in today. Race results. This number tells you what position they finished in each of these starts. If the horse in question ran well, you may be able to find similarities to the current race that could indicate a strong contender. So there you have it. Those are the basics of how to read a program. Remember, there are no bad bets, and everyone looks for something different. So study up, find your advantage, and place your bets. Also, go ahead and download the Keeneland Select online wagering app and sign up at keenelandselect.com. Next time on Lessons in Betology, we'll talk all about odds, how to use them to your advantage, and how to calculate payouts. See you then!
Rachel, thank you so much. A great tutorial there as far as how to read the program. If you want to watch it again, if you want to download the digital program and then watch that once more, you can head to the YouTube channel, or as you saw there, keeneland.com/betology. One of the pieces of information that you will see in the program is the jockey, and we all have our favorites, and sometimes those riders can certainly lead you to a winner. Today, Scott Hazelton joins us, and he has had a chance to interview world-class jockey Javier Castellano, who has made his way to Keeneland to ride this meet.
Well, it's Bluegrass Stakes Saturday, and this is our virtual jockey Q&A, and I'm really pleased to be joined by a man that comes here and does quite well each and every year. And here we are in the summer meet, Javier. What's it like to be here in the summer for you?
I mean, it's amazing, Scott. I'm glad to be here. Very lucky, fortunate to be here, especially with all the pandemic. I want to be thankful to Keeneland to give you the opportunity to open the racetrack, the government in the Kentucky. Every single one, they put a lot of effort to make it happen, this event.
As I mentioned, you've had a lot of success here, but can you take me back to your first experiences coming here to Keeneland? What was your initial impression the first time you walked onto these grounds here in Lexington?
It was a long time ago. I believe, I'm very lucky, fortunate to be around the top jockey back then. It was Jerry Bailey, Pat Day, of course, John Velasquez, Edgar Prado, a lot of top jockeys, Robert Barado. And I learned it through the process, and the long period of time. And I watch the race every single time, all the jockey, every performance they do every time. And I believe I learned a lot through the experience. Of course, opportunity, always you need to have. And be thankful to the training, the owner, give you the opportunity to ride the best horses in the country here.
What's something that you maybe have to do differently here in your approach in riding the turf course in the dirt? Is there a nuance to the racetrack and the way that races are run here at Keeneland?
Absolutely, Scott. You have to adjustment, not even Keeneland. Every single track, they have different dynamic. You have to be performed, you have to adjustment every single one. You can perform the same way you perform in Belmont Park with the wide turn and long stretch. And you can even any places. I can try a lot of sample, but the best thing here is the track. Good turf, good dirt. I think you have to be focused every single step out of the way in the race and try to do the best you could with the horses and be contact with the horses, having that feeling and put everything together to make it happen.
Well, you got some big mounts today, but arguably the biggest, maybe the most pressure is a filly Rushing Fall. She loves it here. She's an absolute pro when she shows up here. What are your expectations with Rushing Fall and the other speed that's going to be in that race with you?
We have a high expectation all the time with her. We really like it. She won the Breeders' Cup a couple of years ago, and she always performed good, like you say. They have a good number here. She's adjusting the track. She's adjusting to the turf course here. She did really well on Belmont last time, and she gave me a good performance. I think he did some really good job with the horse. The owner, Pat Airway, put a lot of effort into bringing horses to the ground. And I believe you have to have a luck in the race. I think it seemed to me we have a good dynamic, good strategy to go to the race. Hopefully, I like to be developing the field the way we always develop all the time.
It's great to see Javier, great to see you healthy, great to see you back here in Keeneland, and best of luck today in all your mounts. Javier Castellano, as I said, when he shows up in Lexington, you've got to watch for this man.
You do indeed, Scott. He will certainly lead you to some winners. Good luck and safe trips to Javier Castellano and all of the riders competing today, not only at Keeneland, but all across the country and worldwide, riding these races that we all know and love. Before we wrap things up today on Keeneland at Home, presented by Central Bank, we do want to have some fun once more with our track announcer, Kurt Becker. You have been sending some wonderful submissions in for him to put his unique race call on your home videos, and today's come from Ricketts and Bear and Katie Nash with Woodford.
Here we have Bear and Nala. Nala asserts herself early, pins Bear by the tail. Bear's going to respond by throwing a left and a right. He's got a really quick right, left, right combination. Throw in a hiss. That's always a good way to show that you mean business. And then wait for it. Finish up strong by kissing your opponent on the nose. Here we have a dog that if you leave the door open, this dog is going to take advantage. So focused and so intense. Nothing is a distraction. Nothing can sidetrack this dog unless maybe it's, like a really, really comfy blankie that just feels, so good.
Like a tennis match for a second, back and forth. Kurt Becker, thank you so much. And to those of you at home sending in those videos, we appreciate it. We look forward to one more opportunity to have a little fun with our Keeneland home videos tomorrow. Before we wrap things up, just a quick programming reminder. If you are unable to be at home to watch the races all day today, do know that you can listen to the races on the radio as well. Keeneland and UK Athletics have teamed up for a day at Keeneland. That will be today from 2 to 6 p.m. Tom Leach will host, and he's going to give you not only coverage of the stakes races, but some really interesting interviews with both UK and Keeneland personalities. You can find it on 630 WLAP in Central Kentucky, WLAP.com/listen, also on the iHeartRadio app, UKathletics.com, and the UK Athletics app. And then our friends at Horse Racing Radio Network, they are always involved if it's a big day of racing. And they have a special 1-hour program today from 5 to 6 p.m. You can find those folks on Sirius 219, XM 201, and locally in Lexington at 96.1 FM. So we're getting pretty close to post time. As I mentioned, one of the best days of the entire summer coming your way today, 1:05 Eastern post time for the first of 10 races, including those 6 stakes races. And a special thank you to our sponsors and our sponsors of this program, Central Bank, at Coolmore with the Coolmore Jenny Wiley, Toyota, the Toyota Bluegrass coming up later on this afternoon. To the folks at Switcher Studio, thank you once more for making this show possible, and also all of the other wonderful and generous sponsors that have been a part of this meet so far. Maker's Mark, our friends there. TVG, my colleagues, will take you through the racing on television if you are able to be home and to watch with them. Kentucky Utilities, as I mentioned, the top 3 there. Central Bank, Coolmore, Toyota, Keeneland Select, and that Gold Rush cocktail coming your way today from Maker's Mark. For everyone that made this show possible and for the entire Keeneland team, I am Christina Blacker. We'll see you tomorrow on Keeneland at Home. Good luck at the races.